Okay, folks, we have made it to the conclusion of Art and DIY Electronics, my new book, which just came out today from MIT Press, available at stores across the world and Amazon and other places, booksellers near you. So, the conclusion, what I do is I try to wrap this up by calling it the DIY mindset. I try to actually go, and I want this book to be usable by people that have no relationship to either art or electronics. Um, I want this book to be, and I think it is very readable to people with no background in art or electronics, but do have an interest in DIY practice. And so I try to pull these themes together and try to build kind of a language of DIY practice, kind of language of DIY practice. It's not Lev Manovich's language of new media. It's Hertz's language of DIY. And the DIY mindset is kind of where I do that. So, so what can we learn from all this stuff? Um, the main, some of the main points that I go at here are the DIY practice is kind of how contemporary artists use technology. Artists are a hack job, and they're hackers, and that's a good thing. And they should continue to hack at stuff. They should continue to take kind of like a punk approach to grabbing it and just banging out three chords and going at it. Despite your limitations, they should go at it and try to take on technology and make it theirs, because the ways that they make it are unique and they're insightful and they're human, and they say a lot more about humanity. And honestly, they create things that are much more interesting for us as people and societies. So, um, I think DIY approaches are core to technology in general. From doing anything technological as a DIY approach to most people. I also kind of, I mean, this subtitle, "The Maker Movement is Dead," is you know, meant to be provocative. Uh, and, but I do think that the Maker Movement is dead. Or I think a lot of the potentials of that movement have kind of fizzled out. 3D printers didn't actually revolutionize all of manufacturing industry. We're not seeing a lot of heavy industry being replaced by 3D printing. Of course, we have a lot of application of interesting stuff, but Arduino projects and 3D printing haven't necessarily resulted in the total revolution that Make Magazine and that Maker Fairs kind of were implying. Not at all. But that's okay. We have DIY, and DIY can lead us into the future. DIY has been around for a long time. And actually, I'm not so concerned about whether people use the term DIY or something else. I used DIY in this book specifically because it was a bit bland and a bit unbranded. I could have easily, taken a term like I've used the term critical making in the past. I wanted to have something that was more generic in this book, and DIY was where I hung everything off of. But I'm not insistent on people continuing with that. It's more the approach and it's more the attitude. Um, and I think that DIY practice is essential in carving out subcultural identities. I think it's revolutionary, and it tries to be revolutionary, and it's an approach that can help individuals um, explore their individuality within the context of larger society and tackle difficult problems in unique ways. It's not a fix for everything. Not everything should be DIY. It's more just saying, like, if people are working independently, what advantage and what leverage do they have both to technology and to just culture in general? What are the advantages to working on your own and as an individual, kind of hacking at it with not, with your kind of resources that you have at hand. Um, so then I conclude by, giving a little bit of a almost as like a benediction of sorts. I say, so make things, build things, try building things that you have no qualifications for. Failure is learning. Try again. Imperfection is okay. Expose yourself to new tools, materials, places, ideas, and people. Listen and learn. Take on the humble attitude of being a non-expert, or better yet, learn something new. Do not be afraid to humiliate yourself with technology. Technology is only a tool and yours to use. Smash and remix its pieces. Bend technology into strange and elegant things. Use DIY to extend yourself, your body, and your mind. Take it on not as a kind of libertarian cowboy, but more as a curious learner with a growth mindset, humbly and consistently forcing yourself into situations where you feel unqualified for the job, but are still hacking away at it. Work on resilience and lifelong learning. Take what you've done and be proud of it, even if it's not very good. And so I go on and I try to explain and give a little bit of a pep talk to folks if you're frustrated at learning technology, interested in maybe incorporating that into your work as a maker or artist or designer. I also, and then I quote Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth, Kurt Cobain, and talk about Make Magazine, Pussy Riot, uh, SRL, Laura Kakauka, Nancy Patterson, Namjoon Paik, and I say here that I give my mailing address and I say, hey, mail me some stuff and I'll mail you something back if you'd like. So I end on that note, and I conclude the ending with the paragraph, do it yourself. Do it with your friends and loved ones, and do it to make things better for more than just yourself. Make messed up and weird shit with raw humanity. Hack tech hard. Give a damn about others and be kind. Put your heart into it. Listen. Learn the humiliation of learning something new and find the beauty within mistakes. Try not to be afraid as you figure it out as a lone oddball. You are beautiful and you can do it yourself. That's the conclusion of art, DIY electronics, or at least the last paragraph. Available now at fine booksellers across the globe. Thanks. Hope you've enjoyed these videos. Found them useful.